Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. And yes, I am back. Again, this is the third time now that I've had to say these words, that I'm back. No, I wasn't on a hiatus. I didn't take 2 weeks off. For those of you that didn't know, yes, I was suspended again on YouTube. Second time this year. Third time since I've had this channel. Suspended again because I said something that they didn't like, and, well, they put it to me. But I have not been quiet, okay? I haven't been just resting easy for 2 weeks. In fact, I've been making videos like crazy over on Rumble and a new platform that I am using called Locals. It's getting worse, and I'm not saying that just because I was suspended. In the last few weeks, especially since I was suspended, but I noticed even beforehand, a lot of people speaking out, speaking the truth, speaking against the status quo, the system, were getting their hands slapped, and some of them pretty severely over on YouTube. I don't know that it's because Twitter's becoming a more free speech platform and they have to kind of counter that. Or maybe a lot of the stuff that we're talking about is coming true. Or maybe things are just starting to get a lot worse and they need to kind of stay ahead of the curve and keep clamped down on any kind of free speech. But either way, it does seem that YouTube is actually getting kind of worse when it comes to their speechifying control. Which brings me to a subject that I'm not going to make the whole video on this, but I do want you to know that I have decided, my wife and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of having to censor myself and talk in code and constantly be afraid or at least be cautious of what I say and do. That it's kind of like I'm on YouTube trying to sneak around all the authorities, just to say something that needs to be said, or even just tell the truth, or, keep you updated on news and stuff. So I'm done with it. We've been over on Rumble, like I said, for the last couple of weeks, producing videos. We've started a page on Locals, which is kind of like Patreon, but a lot better. And a lot of people are moving there, and I've had a 100% positive feedback from the folks that have joined up on Locals. You sign up, you get an account with Locals, that's free, and then you find our community, the Prepared Homestead Tribe, and you join that, and that's free. And so there are certain videos, all of my daily videos that I would post here on YouTube are posted there, or post on Rumble or posted there. Plus, there is a members only section that, yes, you have to pay a small monthly fee. Right now it's $3 a month, and you can have access to all that. Now, it's different than Patreon in the sense that we can do a whole lot more than just post a video. My wife, actually, as I'm speaking, my wife is currently working on an article that she's writing to post on there. She's starting to make her own content. Both my wife and I are posting updates of various news articles and things that we feel will affect you and that you need to know about. She's focusing a lot on natural health, and it's all there behind that membership area. And it's a way that we can get away from all of this. Of course, Locals is also a free speech platform, and Patreon is not. So while I still have a Patreon page, and the videos that I put up on Locals also get put on Patreon, we're able to do a whole lot more on Locals. So we're moving over there. So I would strongly encourage you to do that. Now, I know there's going to be some pushback. I know that not everybody's going to do it. And that's fine, because I still believe in freedom, and I believe that you should choose what you want to do. But here's the deal. YouTube and Patreon are not free speech. YouTube is part of the big tech oligarchy. They are controlling us, and they are basically hand-picking what they want you to see and what they don't want you to see. And even though you may not be paying out of your pocket to watch YouTube, you're paying by watching their commercials and supporting their platform. And it's going to get to a point. It's almost there. It really is almost there. But it's coming very close to the day where you will not be able to view or listen to any kind of truth or free speech without paying for it. And that's kind of the difference. That's how all of these, hey, I would be fine, just posting stuff on YouTube and you getting to watch YouTube and not having to actually pay out of your pocket and everything be fine. But that's not how it works. That's why you've watched all kinds of people move to where they're at a membership-only type of service. It's not really that there's more money into it. It's because it's the only way they can really get around having their audience be able to listen them, speak freely, and speak the truth. And so that's where we're going. That's where it's going to have to end up. I will continue to post things on YouTube, but it will be very different content here on YouTube. It may not be daily content, at least after a while. And it will be very much vanilla bland. It may just be eventually a lot of, homesteading tips and things like that you're okay with, but you're not going to get the real meat and taters of what's going on and my opinions of that. You're only going to find that either on Rumble and most likely on Locals. I know that Rumble is still not as good as YouTube. I get it. But it's rapidly growing. It's growing at a faster pace than YouTube ever did. And Locals as a platform is really good. They have a very clean, nearly flawless app and internet browser presence. And so if you're wanting to see the real us, if you're wanting to get my real opinions, where I can speak freely and not have to self-censor myself, that's where you're going to have to go. And it's going to get that way with anything. We're just going to get to the point that we're not able to speak freely on these big controlled platforms. Twitter seems to be free speech, but I just still don't believe it's going to last. Maybe I'm wrong. I think the reason why they're doing this is because they know what they're doing. They know that they are working feverishly behind the scenes. I mean, just in the last couple of weeks since I've been on here, the stuff that's gone on, it's kind of crazy. Russia's being attacked. We have this debt ceiling deal that maybe is going to get fixed. Maybe it's not going to get fixed. It's constantly back and forth. We've got the mainstream media very openly warning and talking about a threat and attack on our grid, that the grid could completely go down, whether it be a white supremacist domestic attack, probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, or a cyber attack by the Chinese, because they've been saying the last few days that the Chinese CCP has successfully attacked our sensitive infrastructure, including naval ships. And they've also talked about the possibility of an EMP. So it's strange that stuff is being talked about all of a sudden out of nowhere, unless maybe that's what's going to happen. We've also heard from the World Health Organization warning us that the next big illness is going to be way, way worse than the last one. All the while, we're watching us go more and more into debt. I mean, if this debt ceiling deal bill goes through, it will completely wipe away the debt ceiling for at least 4 years, meaning that they can spend uncontrolled, no debt ceiling whatsoever. We're already at almost $32 trillion, and they want to add trillions and trillions and trillions more. In fact, with estimates that by the year 2030 to 2035, we could be in debt up to at least $50 trillion. All this is happening, and these techno-oligarchs that control social media, that control news media, that control basically your window to the world. And also, they know it controls how you perceive things and how you think about things, because they're able to manipulate it through their algorithms and their AI. They know that they have to keep a lid on things long enough for everything to be set into place. And they want to keep the people as passive as possible. They want to keep the people just watching their silliness and not really paying attention to what's really going on. And so when folks decide to stand up and speak out about it and make the truth be known, they shut them down, they censor them, they ban them, or they sue them for billions of dollars. Yes, that's kind of what Alex Jones experienced. They do everything they can. They fire them off of Fox News. They do everything they can to shut people up. And while I certainly don't compare myself to a Tucker Carlson or an Alex Jones or anyone like that, as this channel has grown and as the following has grown, I think that even channels as small as mine, they don't want the truth being out. And so they're doing everything they can to shut us up. And I know it's super inconvenient. I get it. So many of you have been watching YouTube videos for years, and it's so convenient. You're just, I mean, you've got even the muscle memory of where the app is on your phone. You just go to it, right? And it's different. Rumble's a little different. It doesn't show the same kind of videos and stuff. And maybe sometimes it's a little slower, or sometimes it freezes up, I guess. I've never had problems with it like that. And you really want me to pay $3 just to watch all your stuff and to hear all your stuff. No, I'm not saying you have to. But I'm saying if you want to see the real content that we produce, my wife and I, and see our real opinions and real suggestions and tips on living this way and how to avoid being completely controlled by the beast system, then that's probably the only way you're going to find it. It's unfortunate. I would love to just make it free. I don't have the knowledge to create a website where I can post that kind of stuff and host videos like that. And I don't have the money to set up a website like that. And if I did, I would have to charge for it also, and it would probably be more than what Locals is charging, $3 a month. It's really not too bad. You don't have to go over there. I mean, if you don't have to pay, you can watch stuff free on there. I do post several things a day free. I'm averaging of posting about 50 different types of pieces of content on Locals every week. Sometimes more, sometimes less. So you're actually getting a lot. And the thing is you're also starting to get the truth. Not just from me, but from others like me that are on there or on their own platform. People like Glenn Beck and others that are branching out and realizing that these big technocratic oligarchs are not going to allow the truth to be spoken. It's very similar to the 1984's Ministry of Truth. And that's exactly where we're headed. I would guess it's way worse than any of us realize. The things that I see, the things that I hear, the information that's given to me on a regular basis look pretty bad. I mean, they calm things down every so often. You know, it gets hyped up, it gets looking bad, everyone starts to kind of get a little panic in them, and then all of a sudden it kind of cools off for a little bit. And I think they do that to kind of throw us off and to get us to this place that the highs don't really excite us much because we're used to it. You know, we know that it's going to come back down and it's just an ebb and flow. But what most people don't realize is all the while that those highs and lows are happening, behind the scenes, their great reset kind of stuff is still happening. All of the laws and the technology and the AI and the wars and the economy and all of that stuff is still happening. And we have to prepare for it. And if you want to hear about it, and you want to hear how others are doing and what they're doing about it, you're probably going to have to get to the point that you say goodbye to YouTube, at least for stuff like that. From a spiritual perspective, I look at it as being set apart and coming out of the wickedness of the world. I'm not saying that Rumble isn't wicked or that there's no one on there that's wicked, because I'm sure there are plenty. But at least they allow the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression and the ability to speak your heart and your mind. And it's kind of nice, it's been kind of nice the last couple of weeks, making a video and not have to constantly be worried about what I'm saying. So, if you want to find out more about what we're doing, make sure you find us on Rumble and follow us. If you want to see all of the stuff we're doing, go to Locals. I'll leave a link in the description below. You can go over there and you can sign up for free, and you can join our little community for free, and you can see my daily videos. And if you choose to see all of the stuff we produce, it's just a small fee and you get access to that. And it seems to be going really well. It's unfortunate that we're at that point. And my wife and I have done a lot of talking over the last couple of weeks. And we cannot any longer in good conscience keep supporting YouTube. We just can't. I received a notice from them that if I do anything else that's out of line, they will completely remove my channel and all of my content. Completely, totally, remove it. I'll be done permanently. For saying things that aren't lies, for saying things that are opinions, for saying things that people just need to hear. And I can no longer in good conscience keep supporting that. So most of the content you will see on here is going to be pretty bland. It's also going to be encouraging you to go over to Rumble and to go over to Locals. Because at this point, I don't see any other way that folks like you and I can be aware of what's going on and hear each other's opinions and find out ways to get ourselves more prepared than doing that. So, I'm back, but not for a long while. I'll leave links down below for Rumble and for Locals. Please check them out. Not forcing you to, but again, it's going to be a very different experience over here on YouTube. It's time to get your houses in order. Things aren't doing really well, folks. They just aren't, and you need to be getting yourselves prepared for it. You need to be preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.